Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you know, my goal is to always try to share helpful information for you and your family, your business. Try to answer those questions that you didn't even know that you had. And as always, I try to bring in an expert in their field to answer some of those questions so that it's not just coming from me, your realtor, but it's actually coming from those professionals. So today we have a very special guest. I know I say that every time, and every time I also say every guest is special, but today we have a special guest. Let's see who it is. So today we're going to talk to an expert local realtor, which is different, I know. But there are some questions that we do have that we'd like to hear directly from the realtors. And so we're going to talk a little bit about today's market and what that looks like for a buyer or a seller. And is it a good time to buy or sell? I know you've seen a ton of videos about that, but let's talk to an expert today. And here's my special guest. Hello, Edna. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here so that I can answer those questions that your buyers and sellers didn't know that they had. And so we want to talk about today's market. I'm more than open for that. My name is Edna. I am a realtor with Keller Williams Realty. Been in real estate now for over 18 years. I do commercial also. So let those questions roll, Edna, and let's see what we can do for our mutual clients. Thanks, Edna. We're so glad to have you. So if you had one piece of advice for someone who's in the market today, which is April-ish 2022, what would that one piece of advice be for a buyer or a seller or someone that's looking to do a commercial deal? Good question. And I would say a lot of people are concerned with the current rising interest rates. And so last year this time they were probably, you could get like a 2.5% interest rate, and today 5.5. So that's a huge difference. So what does that mean for a buyer or seller? For a buyer, that means that you would pay more in interest rate. Does it mean you shouldn't buy? Absolutely not, because the house that you want to buy today is going to cost you more in a week or two, and definitely more next year, because we do have that annual appreciation and we're not looking for that to stop anytime soon. So I would say definitely yes. So buy now, and if interest rates do decide to climb back, maybe in a year, year and a half, 2 years at the most, just make sure you pay your mortgage on time, and then you can refinance for that lower interest rate. I would highly recommend that, because that house will cost you more in about a year or two. So that's what I would say for a buyer who's considering whether or not to buy or sell in this market. Thank you for that. I had not thought about the refinance portion of that, and so that's pretty good advice. So that's on the buy side. So what would you say to a seller who is concerned about whether or not there'll be those same buyers out there right now putting in multiple offers, now that the interest rate is higher, which means their monthly mortgage would be higher, which means they also probably can afford less house? Would you recommend that they wait until the rates drop next year and get more money for their home when it appreciates, or would you suggest that they sell now? What would you think? Another excellent question, and I'm glad you asked that. So I would highly recommend, of course, sell now. Yep, we normally have annual appreciation. However, none of us has a crystal ball, and even those of us who say we can predict the future, not really. We can guesstimate based upon how things are looking. So yeah, because you don't know if there'll be an abundance of buyers next year. There may not be that highest and best next year. There may not be that above asking price. There may not be as much appreciation as you think. So I would say yes, always. If you're looking to sell now, you definitely want to look to sell now, because we do have a hot market for sales. And there are still buyers out there that are looking to buy, and there's still multiple offers because the market is still starving for listings. So yeah, sell now, definitely. You'll be glad you did, and it'll take a year of you worrying and concerning about it come next year, especially if something changes that we didn't anticipate. So again, another good question, but I would highly recommend you buy now, buy now. Want to sell now, sell now. If it's on your mind, it's always a great idea. And just make sure that you are hooked in with a local realtor who is actively full-time in the market so that they have a grasp on how to best guide you to make those decisions. Thanks again for the question. Well, thanks for those answers, Edna. Those are some of the things I probably had not considered, and maybe others hadn't either, but definitely want to thank you for your time. I think for now, that's about all we'll do. We'll come back next week and talk about whatever's hot topic on the market at that point to answer those questions that my clients didn't know that they had. And that's where, whether you're buying, selling, or you're already in the home, or you're thinking about it for the futuristic point, whatever stage you are, the homeowner, and even if you're not a homeowner, my goal is to help you by answer those questions you didn't know you had. So thanks for coming. And Edna, thanks again. And I reserve the right to call you back at a later date so we can go over some of those more questions. And stay tuned. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, and click to be notified. So I'll be coming weekly with some updated information for you. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day.